Hey guys, we're back on the Budget Nova. Now this thing is way behind. I'm ready to get it done. This engine is almost ready. I've got the transmission ready. We're going to get this finished up, stick the engine and trans together, get it in the car. Okay, so my shop is a royal mess right now. I mean, there's junk everywhere. I'm way behind on everything. I need to get this engine in this car, get the car running, get it finished, and get it sold so I can move on to other stuff, because I've got several other cars that I want to do stuff to. Now, the Franken-Nova's got a bunch of stuff to get ready for Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0, which is in September. And then I want to do stuff to my blue car, and then I've got, 6 or 7 other cars that need attention. So we're going to get the intake on this, the valve covers on it, get it mated to the transmission, and get it stuck in this car. All right, so I'm gonna get the intake on here, get the valve covers on, make sure nothing gets in the engine while I'm fighting with it. Then get the chains hooked to it, get it off the stand and hooked to the transmission. Okay, so my RTV is squeezed out all the way across in the front and in the back, so I know I'm good, shouldn't have any leaks there. Okay, so now I'm going to stick my valve covers on. I'm not going to use these because one of them has a hole in it where it looks like somebody had something screwed down. But and I could probably put a screw in it and be fine. But I've got another set around here somewhere that I'll clean up and put on here, or I'll go buy a set. I'm not super way over budget, but I'm far enough over budget to where this thing isn't leaving here with some nasty valve covers. There. Now I can cover this, cover my distributor hole, cover my baffle holes and my oil fill hole, and I ain't got to worry about anything getting in the engine while I'm putting it in. Okay, so I've got a transmission on the ground. I've got my hoist hooked up to the engine. I fixed to snatch this thing off the stand, put all my flex plate bolts in, and then I can get my torque converter in, get the engine and transmission put together. Then I'm going to stick my transmission lines on the transmission because those are a pain to do once it's already in the car. So we're going to get all that done, and we're going to slide this thing in the car. All right, finally got the converter in. That was no fun, never is. They don't ever just go in for me, they always fight me, but maybe I'm holding my hat wrong, I'm not sure. All right. Let's see, I gotta come up, which means, well, the motor can't come down any, so that means transmission's gotta come up. All right. That's going to be pretty close. Actually might be up a little too far now. So I'm going to come up with the engine just a hair. There we go. Let me get a bolt ready to kind of hold it in spot. All right, I'm not going to use this bolt to pull it up. I'm just going to use this bolt to keep it in line so I can push it up. All right. I'm going to do another one on the other side. And it's got to come up some, like that. Okay, now that I know it won't back off on me, I can shake it around a little bit. I'm going to see if I can shake it all the way up on there. Okay, it will go all the way up on there. I just got to get either the transmission up some or the engine down some. I'm not sure if the engine is going to come down enough. Nope, engine's already up as far as it'll go. So I need to get my transmission up a little bit. Alright, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up on it, tighten the bolt. That's not really the same as running it up on there. Because you can easily break an ear if you do this the wrong way. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to get some more bolts in it. Oh, ain't that a bitch. All right, well. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my chain over to this side. I'm gonna move my chain over to this side so that my dipstick, when I bolt it up, it isn't hitting, because I don't want to have to bolt this up after it's in the car. That'd be a real pain. I guess I could take the pressure off first, huh? Alright, so one thing I like to do before I get the engine and transmission in is go ahead and hook up my transmission cooler lines if I'm using the steel ones, because it is way easier to do it out here than it is once you get all this junk in the car and then try to snake your lines through everything. Now these are pre-bent and they're mangled up a little bit. They've got to go under the car more, but I'll get that. When I get the engine up off the ground, I can straighten them out into the right direction, I guess. But I'm gonna get them on and tightened up right here, and then once I get them tightened up, I can get them kind of going in the right direction when I get the engine and transmission up in the air. All right. Transmission is on and bolted up. My dipstick tube is in. My detent cable is in. Kickdown cable. I've got my transmission cooler lines on. I moved my chain over so it wouldn't be on the back in the way of the dipstick tube. And I've got a bolt in there to keep the chain from sliding through, I hope. So now we're going to lift it up. Hopefully it sits mostly level, maybe a little bit tilted back would be okay. And then we're going to try to get it slid into the car. Now, as soon as I get it tilted up or setting up a little bit, I'm probably going to pour fluid out. As soon as I get it setting up a little bit, I've got to get the engine mounts on, and once I get the motor mounts on, I can get it moved into the car. All right, I've got my motor mounts on. I'm gonna get this other jack stand out of the way. And now it's time to get the engine and transmission sitting down in the car. My power steering lines will have to go under the engine. So I'm going to leave that kind of sitting where I think I can get that in over it. I may have to take those loose. They're not tightened up. Matter of fact, I'll probably go over there and do that real quick. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move it in kind of close before I get it any farther off the ground. Go up a little bit. And then going back some. All right. All right, I come down to here. So I can get my right there. Come down a little bit more. Can't tell if I'm leaking transmission fluid yet, but there's enough in the converter to make it leak if it gets at a sharp enough angle. Now I'm going to have to get a jack under there in just a second. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alright, time to get a jack and get a bolt in the motor mount on this side so that I can let it lay back over that way. Alright, get a jack under the transmission so I can jack it up a little bit. Alright, it's sitting on the engine mounts. This side is almost perfect. Let's see if I can get it there. I have to come up just a hair. Now, this side's in. Alright, now let's get this driver's side in and we'll be alright. There we go. All right, take pressure off the hoist now. Roll it out of the way. All right, that wasn't terrible. Now, we got that in there. I still got to get the cross member in, and it's not painted yet. I forgot. I went out there to grab it, and I was like, I remember painting it, but I can't find the one that I painted, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, it's in there. Now, I did get my transmission quarter lines in first, like I said. That makes it way easier. One thing you didn't see was I also put my brake line in that bolts to the subframe and goes under the engine. You can put those in with the engine in there, but it's way easier. You know, you have to bend it a little bit because it gets caught up on the oil pan. Now, I don't have the clamps in it, but it's way easier to put that in before you actually get the engine in. Same thing with the transmission cooler lines. Make sure you get those tied in the back. Now, next thing I'm going to do, obviously, is get the transmission cross member in. Then I'm going to probably do the brakes. I'm going to keep the engine closed up. I'll do the brakes and fuel lines, and once we get the brakes and fuel lines in, we're going to go ahead and get everything on. I'm going to try to do the electrical once I get most of the body on, like the whole front clip on, get the dash and stuff out, all of that. I'm going to try to do the electrical there because I think it'll help more if anybody's going to do a whole new wiring harness. You know, they may be doing it with the car apart, but you can't really, if the whole front end's off, I can't show any of the, you know, stuff on the front that I terminate, any of your wiring harness for your lights and stuff like that. I can't show that if I don't have the front clip on. So I think I'm going to get the entire car put together, and then I'll do the wiring harness last, and then we'll fire this thing up. But that's coming real soon because, like I said, I need to get this done and out of the shop so I can work on other stuff because I got a bunch of stuff planned for you guys, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I hope. I like it. I hope you'll like it. We'll see you next time.